Hello and welcome to another Setons here on Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. Didn't think I'd mess that up, but here we got some very good players, so we'll see how this turns out. Definitely a battle of the titans here. Styre playing as Seraphim, extremely good eco player, but maybe we'll see something different from him. Taking on Mr. White playing as EF. So Mr. White had a really big impact on my life, you could say, because of his name. Where I was working, there was always a couple boxes I used to go by that would say M White on them, and then whenever I walked by those, I'd always think of Mr. White and Setons, and then I'd leave and go home and play Supreme Commander, and that's really because of him that I skipped a lot of work. Probably shouldn't say that, but it's his fault. And in the middle we got Grim, extremely good mid player here, playing as Aeon, taking on Smurf Hunter. Both players Aeon. It's be interesting Aeon on Aeon battle in the middle. Both players know exactly what they're doing. In the other ocean we got Tausny taking on Schmidt, and I've never seen Schmidt before, playing as Cybern, which is really nice to see. See how well he takes on Tausny. Tausny, a very experienced player, and of course Mize and Carlitos playing Air. Of course Mize has to hold the record for the most Setons games, but of course Carlitos probably pretty close. So early on, looking at Grim, he's bringing an engineer and ACU to the middle, also an Aurora and a scout. The Auroras do have the potential to win the middle battle with their range, with the proper scouting, and of course with that scout can see everything. And Aeon of course can go on the water if they're in danger. They can always retreat. Smurf Hunter didn't bring anything. And actually, one thing that I would really suggest to Setons players, I don't know if everybody would like that, is start playing without the score, because especially when you're playing mid, you can predict a lot about what the other player is doing based on the score. You can see the difference between Smurf and Grim here. Smurf knows that Grim really rushed hard, so we'd expect that ACU. Looks like here coming up minute 3, we have a gesture from Tausny, so this is one component of preparation H here against Smurf Hunter, and it's interesting. Smurf Hunter made 3 flags here anticipating preparation H, but of course this gesture can still do a lot of damage with the proper micro. But it's got to be taken away quickly, otherwise it'll be a huge waste. Tausny invested a huge amount of resources, and unfortunate for him, that was cancelled, and Tausny continues to push with a drop, but a very much a wasted. Yeah, this is a full-on preparation H here from both Mr. White and Tausny, but these flags here from Smurf Hunter. Here comes the point defense, some Auroras, and it looks like there was some anticipation, and artillery from the other side. So engineers and artillery, but excellent defense so far from so far everything has been defended beautifully by Smurf Hunter. And this is a big all-in here from the top side. They've just wasted a lot of their eco, early eco. They're going to be put in a pretty big hole. So it's going to be up to Grimjo to get all that mass and try to even this out. So far it looks like Grim with the 8700, so definitely with an advantage in terms of mass. 5,000 for Smurf. But of course excellent defense, and probably looking at Tausny and Mr. White playing together here, you could have anticipated a preparation H, so good work from Smurf Hunter. Styre going with his usual build here with his teching, and he's gonna have a big advantage on Mr. White. Mr. White looks like pretty big eco problems, but he just now got his island. Styre could have really, if he did the strange thing for him and went after the island, could have easily taken the island, but I've never actually seen Styre go after the island. And here comes Schmidt. This makes me think he's a Smurf, or one of the ranked players visiting Setons. This is a great ghetto gunship, making Tausny pay for his early gesture. Tausny in huge trouble, plus a bomber here with 4 kills. Big domination, total air domination, and this gunship. Schmidt being very mean to Tausny, which is not an easy thing to do. Very nice. I wonder who Schmidt is. Maybe somebody knows, but definitely a very good player. Looking in the middle, Grim not getting an upgrade. Smurf Hunter just sitting there thinking. And now total air domination now over Mr. Whitespace, getting some Tech 1 flak. And it looks like these have been dropped off. Flare versus Hunter battle. Hunter's getting some early kills. It looks like numbers are going to win it out for Mize. More bombers coming in now from Schmidt. Still no Navy here. It looks like the first naval factory is made by Steyr, which is quite amazing. But this total air domination from Steyr, this is going to be really big trouble for Mr. White. Mr. White with his transports, he loves to make drops. But without air, I would expect some flak here from Mr. White now. Looks like he's going straight to Tech 2. And here come bombers from Steyr. He's going to make Mr. White pay. Comes Schmidt, 10 kill Tech 1 bomber. Excellent, still alive. Not for long though. Of course, Auroras for both mid players. That's perhaps one of the reasons that we haven't seen Aeon as much. Forged Alliance forever, with the Tech 1 bombers being so much cheaper. Very big counter to the Aurora. In the past, Aurora was much more powerful. Looking at Towsney's base, he is now getting some torpedo launchers. Thinking about a Tech 1 factory. And very similar, both Schmidt and Towsney doing the exact same thing, very defensive, expecting submarines. Of course, still no naval factories, so no submarines. And here comes, yeah, this is going to be bad for Mr. White. Oh, such a good bomber there. Of course, this flak now with 9 kills, but yeah, this is a good flak. Quite a few engineers lost there to those bombs. Now a Tech 1 naval force coming in from Steyr as well. If he can move in, and this is interesting. It looks like Mr. White is going for a sonar, perhaps a Tech 3 sonar, which is very good submarines, but not very good against frigates. Frigates will be able to take out all these things. I'm not sure if I like this from Mr. White. If he just made a couple torpedo launchers, which he's going to make now, it would be really nice to have that against those frigates. Now frigates are going to dominate, and we've seen, yeah, Tech 1 bombers and frigates, a deadly combination from Steyr. This is tragic now. Of course, this is a big mistake, and actually, yeah, 19 kills now for this anti-air. It's going to be taken out finally for frigates. So it would have been nice to see frigates take that out right away. 20 kills, 5 stars. And the bombers keep on flying in. If that's taken out, bombers can take multiple passes. Looks like Mr. White's not even trying to win the air fight. The middle of, for the most part, dominated by Grim. He's got guns and shield Tech 2 land from Grim. And another Navy, still not too much fighting, but here comes a drop from Schmidt. Very impressive play by Schmidt here, minute 12. And it's a Tech 2 factory in danger of dying. We're now seeing torpedoes or submarines coming out. Torpedo launcher is taken out. This is going to be an expensive unit that's going to die. But engineers can't even get to assist. Can't get into here to assist. So total naval and air domination by Steyr versus Mr. White. Mr. White is really paying the price for that early drop. But Smurf countering the preparation H. Towsney, Tech 1 Navy. Looks like Towsney is not going to have too many problems. That should be Cyber on Cyber battle. It will be interesting. Of course, if you don't kill YEF right away, if you let him live, it looks like Mr. White has survived. And also some torpedo bombers from Mize. The cruiser. Of course, this cruiser is going to put pressure on Mr. White's base. Mr. White, for the most part, Tech 2 mask extractors everywhere. Submarines coming out. Once UEF gets some shields, very difficult to break. And here come a double drop here from Mr. White. Always dropping, but some artillery here. Always a good counter to drops. See how that works out. we also see an ASF fight. Almost looks like Carlos has the advantage. Mai's choosing not to fight. There is a cruiser here. Was taken out by sub just in time and a destroyer now. And here's a successful drop for Mr. White. But yeah, of course, these artillery, whole bunch of kills for these now. Artie versus Artie, Seraphim wins. On the top ocean, we're seeing Tech 2 submarines from Schmidt. Looking at his base, it's really hard to tell who he is. Going for the resource allocation here. A very good player. It's got to be somebody smart. And a great use of a Seraphim cruiser from Steyr attacking Mr. White's base. With this type of air support, it's makes his life a lot easier. And now this destroyer is going to be problems. A destroyer for Mr. White. I would expect this one to go underwater now, because in such close proximity the UEF should win, although it is a 2v1, and 2v1 Seraphim wins, of course. And a shield just came out just a little late. That shield dies immediately. Torpedo boats, probably not the best choice. And really only Air Force can do anything for Mr. White now. And with this air battle, extremely crucial air battle. If Mize loses this, they have just lost the game. And Mize actually runs away. He's not even going to fight. He just gave that up. And all these torpedo bombers won't really get to do much. Cruiser plus 2 destroyers. We got to say Steyr played this one perfectly from beach. Extremely aggressive, and then came in with a perfect combination of units. He had the cruisers when he needed the cruiser. He had the destroyers when he needed destroyer. 42 kill destroyer. And we got to say Carlos correct air here. Without this, a strong air from Carlos here, minute 18. Steyr would have been in trouble. He would have been easily countered. Of course, this is all a side effect of a failed Preparation H. And Preparation H with having Grim play your middle would be nice. Grim would have taken a big advantage. So far, Grim, Tech 3 land in the middle, but not much more. And Mr. White now in big trouble. Complete loss of Navy, now losing mass extractors. And on the other ocean, Cybern on Cybern, it appears actually that Schmidt is going to make Tausny pay for his preparation as well. We do see some Tech 2 bombers that should be dead. See torpedo bombers from Mize. A GC started by Grim is not going to be finished because of these cruisers. Yeah, and so much Tech 2 flak. This is nice. Good units to follow up that naval success for Steyr. These are going to cause a lot of damage. More torpedo bombers coming out for Mize. Take out some cruisers, but they don't get more than one pass. We're now seeing Carlos should provide a little air support. Even without that air support, big success for Schmidt. And now so many cruisers. This is a big Tech 2 span. This is breaking the usual pattern for a Seraphim where they go Tech 3. That must have really surprised Mr. White. Excellent choice here from Steyr. Aggressive Tech 2 from Seraphim. Mr. White just a little late now. Tech 3 ACU here, trying to rebuild a lot of Tech 2 point defense. If Fatty would buy him a little more time, but if Tausny loses his Navy, this game is basically over here. Minute 21. And Tausny very much outplayed as well. And you got to put quite a bit of blame on Mize as well, losing that air. But of course, fighting over a cruiser does give Carlitos quite a big advantage. So nice aggressive play here from Steyr on the bottom side. Tech 3 on Tech 3 in the middle. Of course, the ACU is going to give a huge advantage to Grim. And looks like the top side has just thrown in the towel here, minute 23. Very dominating. So hopefully people learned a little bit of in terms of naval battle here from Steyer and Mr. White.